in Mississippi County.
Yeah, and a lot of people worried about the area that's going to be flooded. The floodway is going to create a lake in the next 24 to 36 hours. Some folks worried about the secondary levee that's protecting East Prairie and Charleston. And Kathy, have you gotten any more indication as far as a timeline?
No, again, Jeff, once this happens, I'm told that Colonel Verdi Reichling, who's the commander of the Memphis district, will come over here near our camera, as a matter of fact, and give us all an update as to what happens next, so we'll be sure and ask that question. In the meantime, if you were watching at 9 o'clock, the presiding commissioner of Mississippi County, Carlin Bennett, told us that there was already an effort to try to help some of the farmers recoup the losses that they will receive from this flood situation, because, again, as the Corps said, this is not a man-made flood event. This is a God-made flood event that the Army Corps of Engineers is managing in the best possible way. We're looking out into the distance, still waiting for some indication as to when this will take place. Not sure if we'll hear it or see it or both, but we are still standing by waiting.
Kathy, if I may ask you, the last time this was done was 1937. What effect did it have on that floodway then, and what are the long-term effects, and did it accomplish what the Corps hoped it would?
You know what, Marianne, I really can't answer that question. There it is. Did you see it? It just happened.
Wow, it's fast.
Pause for a second.
Wow, we saw that line of fire just as it was described and then heard a series of blasts strong enough that I could feel my inside shake, the vehicles around us shake. I'm sure it was a sound loud enough for you all to hear. That was the intentional breaching of the Birds Point levee.
Kathy, that was the first blast. There'll be another one later, right? This morning, early this morning. Tomorrow morning.
Two more.
Right. There will be two more, we're told. This is the inflow section of the levee. This is the opening where the water from the rivers will come in and make, as Jeff described, that large lake in the floodway covering 130,000 acres of farmland. And then later on, initially we were told between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m., they will open the first of two outflow sections, smaller sections of the levee. And then the second outflow section will be later on tomorrow morning. If you look out in the distance, we just saw a big spotlight. I'm not sure where it went or where it came from. A large spotlight out in the middle of the floodway area. I'm not sure if that was an emergency official with that or not. We're still waiting to hear.
Hey, Kathy, I
any
know
updates. Yes, go ahead.
Well, when we talked earlier today, we had been told that the Army Corps of Engineers would probably not blow the levee at night. You know, it's hard for us to see anything. I know it's hard for you to see anything. It's hard for viewers to see anything. And I know there was some, did the river rise too much with all the rain we've been getting to make them kind of speed up the process? Do you know?
You know, Jeff, I asked that when I got out here, and Jim Pogue told me that, again, it was the water was rising at such a level that they felt that they needed to move forward and do this as soon as possible. Jim's standing over here to the side. Jim, can we have you step up here for a minute? Jim Pogue with the Army Corps of Engineers joining us here. Jim, we just watched that line of fire, heard the series of blasts. Any indication that all went as planned?
It sounded like it all went as planned, yes. Yeah, I'm sure we'll be waiting to hear and get the opinions of the experts, but it sounded like it went like it was supposed to.
Will we, I was told that Colonel Reichling may be joining us shortly. What can you tell us about him coming over maybe and updating all of us?
Well, he has operational control of the operation of the floodway, so he was at right at ground zero, I'm sure, so we'll find out what he has to say if he's able to come over.
And can you tell us where exactly he was, where that ground zero is, or where he was when the detonation actually took place?
I can't tell you. I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Again, it's kind of tough to see what's going on out here in the dark.
I'm sure he was at a very good vantage point, though.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Jim, thank you for that. We will look forward to speaking with him shortly, I hope. So, again, it was a situation where the water was rising at such a rate that it needed to be done sooner rather than later, obviously. And again, as you just heard Jim Pogue tell us, all went as planned, it seems, from here. And again, it was really an amazing sight. It happened so fast, and you saw that line of fire so quickly, that flash, and then the sound caught up with the light, and then you felt that series of booms, almost like like on the 4th of July when you're at a fireworks display outside one of those big displays, you know, and you hear that boom and you can feel it in your chest. That's what it was like standing out here feeling those booms as we watched that portion of the levee be blown away. Now, I asked earlier, how quickly will the water start to move in? Will we see a rush of water? Obviously, we can't see much of anything right now, but I'm told that within 24 hours behind me, this grassy area behind me and off into the distance will all be covered with water. Jeff, Marianne?
Kathy, quickly, give us an idea. How far away are you from where that blast happened again?
I was told when we got out here we were about 2 miles away. Now, when we first came out, we were told we would be within a 1 mile distance, but clearly we were further than that. I was told this we were about 2 miles away from the location. And, you know, if you look up in the sky right now, and again, I know it's dark, but we can see kind of that white smoke. You know, it's after maybe a fire. If you've ever been out and covered a fire, you've seen a fire, and initially the smoke is black, and then it turns white as the fire is put out. Well, that's what we're seeing right now. All across that stretch of the levee is that white smoke left behind from that blast. So, you know, we're waiting here now to see what we can learn about the operation. Did it, in fact, work the way it was supposed to, and what happens next? You know, I'm looking in the distance, and I can see more of the lights. There's a white cross way out in the distance, and I can actually see more of the bottom of that cross now, I believe, than I could before that took place. So I'm wondering if I'm not seeing that lowered section now of the Birds Point levee where that blast took place. But you can clearly see more lights in the distance now than we saw earlier. So